You make six figures. You lead teams. You solve million-dollar problems at work without breaking a sweat. But last week, you stared at your investment account for 20 minutes, felt your chest tighten, closed the tab, and told yourself you'll deal with it later. Again, here's the truth no one's telling you. That paralysis is not a character flaw. It's your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do when it perceives threat. And until you understand how to work with your nervous system instead of fighting against it, no amount of budgeting apps, financial advice, or positive affirmations will fix this. Stay with me because I'm about to show you the exact 5-step framework I use with high-earning clients to make big money decisions without the anxiety, avoidance, or overwhelm. And I'm going to walk you through real examples so you can use this immediately. Hi, I'm Doina Onchel, a trauma-informed money coach, and I specialize in helping high-earning professionals and leaders break through financial decision paralysis. Not with more information, you already have plenty of that, but by addressing what's actually happening in your body when money decisions trigger your stress response. Today, we're going deep. I'm going to explain why you're stuck, what's really happening in your nervous system, and give you a complete decision framework you can return to again and again. This is your practical content that will change how you approach every big financial decision from this point forward. And here's what I want you to know right from the start. You're not broken. You are not bad with money. And your nervous system has been wired through past experiences to treat money like danger. Once you understand this, everything changes. But before we dive in, if you're resonating with this already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos on trauma-informed money strategies. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the big money decision you've been avoiding? Okay, now let's get into it. Let me describe what's happening for you. You're intelligent, accomplished. You earn high into the six figures or even more. Everyone around you sees you as capable and all together. You manage complex projects, lead initiatives, make strategic decisions at work without hesitation. But when it comes to your own money, asking for that raise, making that investment, changing roles, negotiating your worth, or finally moving that cash that's been sitting there for months, something shifts. Your chest tightens, your thoughts race, you avoid looking at your accounts, you postpone decisions even though you logically know that delay is costing you money. This is financial decision paralysis, and here's the critical distinction. It's not about lacking information. You consume plenty of advice from books, podcasts, articles. You know what you should do, but knowing and doing are completely different things when your nervous system is dysregulated. When you think about money, especially big decisions, your body responds physically before your conscious mind even registers it. Tight chest, racing heart, shallow breathing, foggy thinking, mental loops that go nowhere. When your brain perceives financial threat, it floods your system with cortisol while simultaneously reducing activity in the part of your brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and weighing complex options. So you're literally trying to make sophisticated financial decisions while your brain's executive function is partially offline. Of course, it feels impossible. You're not failing. You're trying to think clearly while your system is screaming danger. Here's where trauma comes into the picture. And I want to be clear what trauma means in this context. Trauma isn't just dramatic one-time events. It includes ongoing financial stress, family instability around money, immigration stress, watching your parents fight about finances, periods of under-earning, debt that felt suffocating, sudden job loss, or simply growing up without financial security. If you've experienced any of this, your nervous system has learned to associate money with threat. It has created a pattern of protection that made sense when you were in those circumstances. The challenge is that this pattern persists even when your circumstances have changed. This means even positive money moves like investing, negotiating for more, or making a career leap can trigger your protective responses. Your nervous system doesn't differentiate between good money stress and bad money stress. It just detects activation and responds accordingly. So what would this look like in your life? You might swing between two extremes, and most of my clients recognize themselves immediately in this pattern. On one side, there's over-control, obsessive spreadsheet tracking, constant account checking, rigid budgeting that feels punishing, researching investment options until 3 in the morning, but never actually deciding. On the other side, there's avoidance, not opening bills or statements, ghosting your financial goals, putting off conversations with your partner or financial advisor for weeks or months or even years, feeling numb or disconnected when money conversations come up. Or maybe this shows up in how you advocate for yourself at work. You overfunction, you take on extra responsibility, you're the reliable one everyone counts on. But when it comes to asking for what you deserve, that raise, that promotion, better terms of work, you freeze. Because asking for more triggers deep fears of conflict, rejection, or losing what you already have. You see, standard financial advice tells you to just budget, just invest, just negotiate. It focuses entirely on strategies and behavior while completely ignoring how anxiety and trauma impair your ability to plan, take calculated risks, and follow through. And most money mindset work assumes you're operating from a calm, rational baseline. It gives you affirmations and visualizations as if your nervous system isn't screaming that money equals threat. But you're dealing with chronic stress that makes you more likely to default to avoidance or excessive caution, not bold action. This is exactly where trauma-informed financial coaching fills the gap. We regulate your nervous system first, then install clear decision frameworks so you can finally execute on the strategies you already intellectually understand. And that's what we're doing today. To make better money decisions, you need to understand what's happening in your body. Your nervous system operates in 3 primary states, and each one dramatically affects how you think about and respond to money. State 1, social engagement. This is your optimal state for decision making. When you're in social engagement, you feel safe, connected, grounded, and calm. Your prefrontal cortex is fully online, which means you can think clearly, weigh options objectively, consider long-term consequences, and make thoughtful choices that align with your values. In this state, money decisions feel manageable. You can tolerate uncertainty without spiraling. You can have difficult conversations without shutting down. And you can look at your numbers without your system going into panic mode. Here's what it feels like physically. Your breathing is steady and natural. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your mind is clear but not rigid. You can see multiple perspectives. You feel curious rather than threatened. This is the state we need to get you into before you make big money decisions. State 2, fight or flight. When you perceive threat, your sympathetic nervous system activates. This is your mobilization response, your system's way of preparing you to fight the threat or run from it. In the context of money, this might look like panic when you open your credit card statement, anger during budget conversations with your partner, frantically researching investment options at 2 in the morning and feeling more confused than ever, or impulsively making purchases or decisions to relieve the tension. Physical signs include racing heart, tight chest, rapid or shallow breathing, tension in your jaw or shoulders, feeling hot or flushed, relentless energy. Mental and emotional signs include talking very fast about money, difficulty listening to other perspectives, tunnel vision on the problem, catastrophic thinking, black and white reasoning, and inability to see the whole picture. Here's what's critical to understand. In fight or flight state, you're not making your best decisions. You're reacting from survival mode. Your system is designed to move you away from danger quickly, not to weigh complex financial options thoughtfully. State 3, shutdown. This is the oldest, most primitive part of your nervous system. When fight or flight doesn't resolve the threat, or when the threat feels too overwhelming to handle, your system collapses into shutdown. In money terms, this looks like complete avoidance. Not opening bills for weeks or months, not checking your accounts, feeling numb or disconnected when someone asks about your finances, procrastinating on decisions indefinitely, experiencing deep shame, worthlessness, or hopelessness around money. You might tell yourself you'll deal with it tomorrow, next week, next month, and suddenly a year has passed. This state is often deeply connected to financial shame, the belief that you don't deserve financial security or that you're fundamentally broken when it comes to money. Here's what I want you to hear. Shutdown is not laziness. It's not irresponsibility. It's not character flaw. It's proactive mechanism. When all other strategies have failed to create safety, your system shuts down to conserve energy and protect you from what feels like unbearable overwhelm. And the key insight that changes everything? You cannot make quality financial decisions from fight, flight, or shutdown state. Period. You need to first bring your nervous system back to a state of safety and social engagement. That's not optional. That's the foundation of the entire framework I'm about to teach you. If you're finding this helpful, hit the like button and drop a comment telling me which nervous system state you recognize most in yourself when money comes up. Your engagement helps this content reach more people who really need it. Okay, here's the 5-step trauma-informed decision framework. This framework integrates nervous system regulation with practical decision-making. It's designed specifically for high-stakes financial decisions when you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or stuck. I use this with my private clients, and I'm walking you through it step by step today so you can apply it immediately. Step 1. Name your state. Before you even think about the decision itself, pause and ask, what state is my nervous system in right now? Are you in social engagement, feeling relatively calm, grounded, and clear-headed? Are you in fight or flight state, feeling anxious, rushed, panicked, or angry? Or are you in shutdown state, feeling numb, avoidant, hopeless, or disconnected? Just naming your state creates space and awareness. It interrupts the automatic reaction pattern and gives you crucial information about whether now is the right time to make this decision. Here's an example for you. Let's call this client Sarah, who is considering whether to accept a new job offer with a significant pay increase. When she tries to think about it, her chest tightens and her mind races with worst-case scenarios. She'll fail in the new role. She'll lose her current security. She'll regret leaving. She recognizes she's in fight or flight. She names it out loud. I'm in sympathetic activation right now. I'm not in the right state to decide. That simple act of naming shifts something in her mind. She's no longer merged with anxiety. She's observing it. All right, step 2. Regulate before you decide. If you're not in social engagement, your next job is not to make the decision. It's to regulate your nervous system. This is non-negotiable. Here are 3 regulation techniques that you can use immediately. The grounding technique, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This directs your brain from threat scanning to present moment awareness. Look around and notice 5 things you can see right now, 4 things you can physically touch or feel the texture, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This signals safety to your body. Then this breathing technique, the box breathing. Inhale slowly for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale slowly for 4 counts, and then hold for 4 counts again. Repeat this cycle for 2 to 3 minutes. This signals to your vagus nerve that you're safe, which shifts you out of fight or flight and back towards social engagement. The movement technique, bilateral stimulation. Cross your arms over your chest and alternate taping your shoulders left, right, left, right, left, right, slowly and rhythmically for 1 to 2 minutes. Or go for a walk where you're naturally alternating left and right movement. This bilateral stimulation helps integrate left and right brain hemispheres and can significantly reduce nervous system activation. Let's continue the example from our client Sarah. She uses the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. She notices her racing thoughts beginning to slow down. She practices box breathing for 3 minutes. She feels her chest loosen and her breathing deepen. She's moving towards social engagement. Now she's ready to think more clearly about the decision. Step 3. Create a safety buffer. One of the main reasons money decisions feel so threatening is because they feel irreversible or catastrophic. Creating a safety buffer means building in protection that makes the decision feel less like life or death and more like calculated experiment. Ask yourself, what would make this decision feel safer? What's the smallest version of this decision I could make? What is my backup plan if this doesn't work out the way that I hope? What resources do I have that I'm not remembering right now when I'm focused on the risk? Here's another example from a client. Let's call her Maria. She's considering investing a significant portion of her savings, around $50,000, but feels completely paralyzed every time she thinks about it. Her safety buffer might look like this. Start with a smaller amount, maybe $10,000, which is 20% of what she was originally considering. Set a 3-month check-in to evaluate how it's performing and how she feels. Keep 6 months of expenses in her emergency fund completely untouched. Talk to a financial advisor for a second opinion before moving any money forward. Suddenly, the decision doesn't feel like jumping off a cliff. It feels like a measured step with a built-in protection and review points. Her nervous system can tolerate this version of the decision. Step 4. Use a values-based decision matrix. When your nervous system is regulated and you create a safety, now you can evaluate the actual decision. But instead of making a traditional pros and cons list, which often keeps you stuck in analysis paralysis, use a values-based matrix. Write down your top 3 to 5 core values. This might be security, freedom, growth, family, impact, creativity, adventure, health, or connection. And then evaluate your decision option against each value. For each option, ask, does this move me towards or away from this value? Rate it on a scale of -3 to +3. -3 means it strongly conflicts with this value, and +3 means it strongly supports this value. And 0 in the middle means neutral. Here's an example. Let's take this from a client that we're going to call him James. He is deciding whether to leave his stable corporate job to start his own consulting practice. His core values are freedom, security, growth, and family time. Here's option A. Stay in corporate job. Values freedom, it's -2. Limited autonomy over projects. Rigid schedule, can't choose clients. Security, +3. Steady paycheck, benefits, predictable income. Growth, -1. He's plateaued in this role. He's not learning much new. Family time, 0. Predictable hours, but they're long, not much flexibility. And then there's option B. Start consulting practice. Freedom, it's a +3. Full autonomy over schedule, clients, and project. Security is -2 initially, but +1 for long term. Building his own asset that can't be taken away. Growth, it's a +3. Steep learning curve, new challenges, expanding skill set. Then there's family time. It's +2, flexible schedule, and can build around family needs. This matrix helps James see that consulting aligns more strongly with 3 of his 4 core values. And even the security concern has a long-term upside that traditional employment doesn't. The decision becomes clearer when it's filtered through values rather than just fear versus logic. Okay, all right, let's move to step 5. Implement with micro commitments. Even after you made a decision, implementation can trigger nervous system activation all over again. The antidote is micro commitments, breaking the decision into a smallest possible next step. Don't think about climbing the whole mountain at once. Just take the next step directly in front of you, then the next one, then the next one. Here's an example what this might look like. Let's take our client Linda, who has decided to ask for a significant raise, 20% more than her current salary, but feels overwhelming anxiety every time she thinks about the actual conversation. Her micro commitments might look like this. On Monday, she writes down 3 specific accomplishments from the past year. Just 3, nothing more. Set a timer for 15 minutes. On Tuesday, she'll research salary benchmarks for her role and industry. spend 15 minutes, and write down the range. On Wednesday, she drafts one sentence stating her request clearly, just one sentence. Based on my performance and market research, I'm requesting a salary adjustment to a whatever amount that is. She schedules a 15-minute conversation with her manager with the subject line, discussing compensation and career development. And on Friday, she practices saying her one sentence out loud 3 times in front of a mirror or a trusted friend. Next Monday, she has a conversation. Each micro commitment is small enough that it doesn't trigger shutdown, but together they build momentum, competence, and evidence that she can do this. That's how you move forward when overwhelm has kept you stuck. Here's some common mistakes that everyone should avoid. Here's mistake number 1, trying to make big decisions when you're dysregulated. Don't do it. Wait, regulate first, always. A decision made from panic or shutdown will almost never serve you well. Mistake number 2, making decisions in complete isolation when you're prone to anxiety. Get support. Work with a coach, a therapist, a trusted financial advisor, or a friend who can help you stay grounded and see what you can't see when you're in the middle of it. And mistake number 3, expecting yourself to feel 100% confident before you act. Spoiler alert, you won't. Ever. Clarity doesn't come before action. Clarity comes from taking action and seeing what you learn. Take the micro commitment. Gather data, adjust based on what you discover. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. You are not broken. You are not bad with money. You are not lazy or irresponsible or any of the other stories you've been telling yourself. Your relationship with money and decision making makes complete sense when you understand your nervous system and your history. The solution is not more information. It's not more willpower or discipline. It's regulation first, then framework, then action. Let me recap the 5-step trauma information decision framework. 1. Name your state. 2. Regulate before you decide. 3. Create a safety buffer. 4. Use a value-based decision matrix. 5. Implement with micro commitments. You can use this framework for any big money decision: investment, career moves, salary negotiation, major purchases, retirement planning, business decisions, or difficult financial conversation. Now here's what I want you to do. If this video resonated with you and you're sitting on a big financial decision right now that you've been avoiding or agonizing over, I want to invite you to book a free 15-minute big decision clarity call with me. The link is in the description below. In that 15 minutes, we'll identify exactly what's keeping you stuck, what state your nervous system is defaulting to around this decision, and map out your next micro commitment so you can start moving forward immediately. There's no pressure, just clarity. Book the call using the link below. And before you go, do me 3 quick favors. First, hit that subscribe button and turn on notification so you don't miss future video on trauma-informed money strategies and decision-making frameworks. Second, give this video a like so the algorithm knows to share it with other high-earning women who need this information. Let's not gatekeep. Third, drop a comment below and tell me, what's the big money decision you're facing right now? Share your experience. Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to know they're not alone. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Trauma-informed financial coaching is specifically designed to support you through this process, to help you regulate, to give you the frameworks and tools that you need, and to witness your progress as you build entirely new patterns around money and decision-making. You got this. Your nervous system is not the enemy. It's been trying to protect you. Now, we're just teaching it that you're safe enough to move forward with confidence. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, let's go.